Okay, so we've got a backup deck. I've got a few things prepped. I'm hoping to save some of it for later this week, but we're starting off today with what was a really old draft. It's had some updates, but this was a draft that has been ready since basically Twin got unbanned, and I just kind of never got around to playing it. And I was going through my old drafts, I'm like, actually, this looks like it should have gotten another look here. So this is, we've played mono red Eldrazi, mono white, mono blue, or sorry, not Eldrazi, but like fair deck splashing K command. That's how insane K command is. It can basically be your second splash color, and the card plays really, really well in these kind of fair, more mid-rangey strategies. So this is the mono red build, which is trying to twin combo with Fear of Missing Out, while also just kind of being like a Hayashi style mono red deck. DRC, Ragavan, lots of cheap burn spell, Seasoned Pyromancer to refuel. And one thing I do like about this list is that a twin on a Seasoned Pyromancer and a twin on the Thought-Knot Seer can be really powerful. Especially twin on Thought-Knot Seer. You just get to like draw step, lock your opponents out sometimes. This mana base needs a second waste. I disagree with you. I understand that you want that because of Blood Moon. The thing is, I'm okay just having Blood Moon be basically Nevermore for K command, if that makes sense. And I think that that's better than having a second waste. Okay, let's keep going. So one thing that's kind of weird is I was looking at the deck and I'm like, okay, I want to board out all of my twins and I want to board out my Ragavans against Boros. And then I'm like, this, although Seer's not great against them, but like this kind of shell is kind of an okay place to start against Boros. And I ended up deciding that I wanted my sideboard plan to be to bring in 4 Steel Cutter and to bring in 3 Fire Magic against them, which is very weird to have Steel Cutter in the sideboard. But I think it's going to come in basically against. I think it makes sense to some extent, right? Where it's like you have twin combo game 1, so you can be fast enough against the non-interactive decks, and then you side out of your twin combo and you side into maybe the single best card against creature removal spells ever in Modern, Cori-Steel Cutter. So I don't. It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit experimental, but I want to get in there. Could one of the 6 mountains be replaced with a Pain Land? It could. Let's get in there. We have enough colorless sources. We have Arena of Glories in the decks. We want the mountains. We have in the list 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 colorless sources. You kind of count Eldrazi Temple as double for K command, but not for Thought-Knot Seer. So it's kind of like we have 18 colorless sources. Have 5 fetch lands. All right, I guess we're keeping this. Mr. Seri, historically a Hardened Scales master. Not a lot of I didn't pack my meltdowns today. I haven't been playing against a lot of Mox Opal decks. Okay, we're both on a mold of 6. Green-white artifact lands, so probably still Scales in. Let me take a peek here. Interesting. Okay, we've got our combo. The problem is the Cauldron can maybe take us off Delirium. Interesting. So there's a Hardened Scales on top. Playing Starting Town. Haven't actually seen this. Could honestly be a nice tool for these K command builds, by the way. 2 welding jars, huh? Your mom lets you have 2 welding jars? So they're drawing a Hardened Scales, and then the other card is an Agatha's Soul Cauldron. So I think I'm going to get a little greedy, maybe. But I'm going to play the FOMO. I'm going to discard the Heat with the hopes to use this Channeler to set up Delirium to twin my FOMO. Oh, one nice thing about Twin on FOMO also is that, okay, the mystery card is a portable hole. One nice thing about the Twin on FOMO is that with the copy FOMO, you could discard your missing type. Okay, huge Thought-Knot Seer draw. So not only now can we Thought-Knot Seer the Agatha Soul Cauldron, but my opponent literally has 1 turn here to draw something. Although I guess that maybe the Seer copy coming back will let our opponent draw out of this, but Just twin on Thought-Knot Seer can be very hard to overcome. And, you know, we came here to do this. Just an average Monday morning on twitch.tv/aspiring spike. Okay, Urza Saga is definitely the way to get out of this, though. Fuck. Damn it. Don't they get to draw? They get to draw, yeah. And then we get to take another card. It's not a perfect lock. Okay, a Ravager and a Rumble. Both pretty annoying. I think we take the Rumble, actually, because if they cast the Ravager this turn, they're not making a construct. Alright, so we're trying to find another FOMO, I guess, before we die to these constructs, huh? Get a second Thought-Knot Splinter Twin on a second Thought-Knot Seer. Yeah, this double welding jar is a mess, too. Although I guess we get to, I don't know if we get to chump block. It's not a great lock because they get a new card back once the Thought-Knot leaves. Yeah, but then you get to see them again. I mean, it's kind of like Vendilion clicking every turn, maybe. Also, decks like this that play like mostly at sorcery speed, they have a hard time. Like, if they're getting that card in the instep, then their draw for turn and the card off the Seer, they both have to be pretty impactful in one go. It's Monday. We've been streaming for 27 minutes. There's a pithing needle on Thought-Knot Seer. Good morning. I think I double block. It gives my opponent 2 cards, but it gives them 1 card if they welding jar. Which I think is fine. It also gives you another type for Delirium. Alright, so we need a Fear of Missing Out a K command. Another Channeler. So I guess I can plan to block and heat and try to, you know... I guess the problem with digging for a FOMO if I heat is that I won't have another card in my hand. Okay, I think I just am digging now instead for the FOMO. I'm digging for just K command or mainly K command. So we do get Delirium. If I triple block, my opponent can kill both channelers in exchange for a welding jar. Doesn't seem great. I could double block here, and then we could basically trade a Seer for a welding jar. Guess the Seer's not doing a lot. Phoenix with the 24 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, Mr. Sari's build looks really weird. Mr. Sari's always been a big believer of playing a lot of welding jars. Okay, so we get this down to 6/6. They go back up to 2 cards. This has been such a fun game. Plays the Ozolith, 1 card in hand. I guess FOMO wouldn't be the worst draw, but it would be kind of funny. Any reason to... I don't think we need to play around, like, main deck, like, hexproof spells. If Mr. Sari's playing main deck welding jar, it's probably... no chance it's both, right? Alright, now we'll exile this. Yeah, we have 2 Arena of Glories in the deck. There. Oh, I should have not answered your question. I should have just showed you, huh? All right, so we find another K command, which is nice, obviously. Could hold this for fear of missing out. I think it's just better to dig deeper. So, you know what? Sorry, I guess I forgot that this is going to be a lot of counters underneath the Ozolith, so we needed to wait until second main phase, really. Only really get punished if our opponent top decks a Ballista, though. Okay, so here's the fear of missing out. So I guess what we do is we go... We draw the Channeler, we draw the fear of missing out. We plan to discard the Channeler to the FOMO. Then we hold up the Unholy Heat on our opponent's turn. Although that might not be good enough if... Okay, great. Likely will be good enough now. Although there's the Welding Jar, so if it's Ballista, if it's Ballista, I guess it's still a problem. But fortunately, I didn't draw the Arena of Glory. Although I guess I would likely be a land away anyways. This is the plan. Sticking to it. What a crazy first game with this deck, huh? Okay, Command really showing how ridiculous it is. I mean, it just does every game you draw it. It's just this card is unbelievable. What were they thinking? One of the worst design cards of all time. It's crazy how often you can say that about MH3 cards. So they do get, you know, it would have actually been maybe a bigger problem if they had, I guess you had the Heat, but we still have the Heat even. But if they had made a gigantic blocker, they could have, I don't think they could have absorbed enough damage. All right, so this is going to be a matchup where we keep in the Twin combo. Don't have much else for Hardened Scales. Sorry, I guess I came unprepared today. I don't think Fire Magic's very good against them. I think I want to bring in the Charmaws, especially against the Towns. It might just be like... Also, like, Splinter Twin on Charmaw. Good morning. I think I'm going to go down 1 Thought-Knot Seer, 3 Ragavan. Do you think K-Command would still be nearly as oppressive if it wasn't an Eldrazi spell? It depends a little bit on what this new version is, right? But, yeah, of course, the fact that Eldrazi Temple pays for it is a huge part of it. So the sideboard, so you bring in the Cori-Steel Cutters and you cut the Twins against like Dimir, Boros, Orzhov, Control. So like the removal spell matchups, you don't want Splinter Twin in your deck. So that I was trying to think of like, I wanted a transformative sideboard. It felt really important that I cut the Twins post board. And so I felt that the best possible sideboard plan I could have for Boros was out 4 Ragavan, 3 Twin for 4 Steel Cutter, 3 Fire Magic. I couldn't think of a better plan, and so this is where we're at. We have the K commands to deal with Flages. It's maybe you want like one more answer to Flage, but if you have something better than that, let me know. But this was the best I was able to come up with. Friends with the 48, 4 years. Wow. Can't believe my Corona era binging would turn into this. And thanks for being a pillar for Fun and Modern. Glad you're still here after all this time. I also didn't think my COVID era layoff would result in this either, huh? Isn't that funny how things work sometimes? All right, so 3 mana turn 2, 3 cards in hand. Plays a Hardened Scales into a Ballista. Very good. So that's a creature in the yard for our fear of missing out purposes. This is a land. So many resubs today. Thank y'all so much for joining me on this wild ride. What about bringing in the 4th Eldrazi Lightbreaker? Okay, let me get back to you on that, maybe. Then No Beats with the 5 years. Illusions with the 49. Been here a while, too. Man, wow. A good start to the week. So hopefully you could draw another type and just FOMO it away and set up to twin them. I guess instead of that, it's probably better to hold up the bolts. The Welding Jar makes it a little bit weird, I guess. Okay, the Welding Jar makes it weird. Yeah, I think I'll just discard the bolts. Okay, I guess I got punished for playing my land first, huh? Let's see what they're drawing. Spire of Industry. So this is enough mana for them to level the Ballista and ping, ping, ping the FOMO down. Instead, Mr. Seri does not play around Splinter Twin and cast a Esper Sentinel. Sorry, Illusions. Evan with this 73! That's awesome. Here the entire time. Drowsy with a 9. Wow. Too wholesome today. Alright, 3 mana up. Don't know nothing about Eldrazi Twin. Alright, let's see if Mr. Seri draws a Dismember. Man, and we're 1-0 in the challenge, and we had a Pithing Needle on Thought-Knot Seer, and now we're Splinter Twinning a FOMO. Not too bad, huh? Not too bad. Alright, so we're 1-0. Okay, so we're on the play for round 2. Up against Ganked. You can't beat a Pump Pride. Well, you can if you have a mana up, right? So like there's some situations you can beat it. Yeah, indestructible creatures actually GG, but or you can't beat it with this. I guess in this deck you have a K command. So there's ways you can maneuver around it. The nice thing though is that you get to play like a modern staple as your Deceiver Exarch instead of Deceiver Exarch. I had a friend who had a modern ECQ with Sultai Infect. Were they playing Tifa? That's very cool. We've played against Infect more lately. Okay, there's a Thraben Charm on top over there. Get to test the Cori-Steel Cutter sideboard plan, maybe. Yeah, don't usually mind when your Ragavan gets Static Prison. It's a pretty big strain on their energy, especially when you have a removal spell for a Guide of Souls. There's a Flage on top. It's going to need a K command to deal with that, maybe. Get some draws here. 3 cards, Ancestral Recall. There's the K command. We can't K cast that yet, though. Okay, best case scenario, I think. They still got the Thraben Charm in their hand. Got to be mindful of that. So if I keep this, I can cast the Seasoned Pyromancer. And I lose these other 2 cards. So I think I just have to. I get Delirium. I don't think we can sit around for a better play. As far as what we name, let me just double check. If there's not really many overlapping types. This is not a shaman, right? Okay, we have 2 human shamans. So I guess I'm going to name shaman here. All right, so we can cast the Seer next turn, maybe. Maybe get a Splinter Twin on the Seer again. So down to no energy, 6 cards in hand. Tap land, so maybe we get to Thought-Knot Seer the Flage. 5 cards in hand. 1 of them is Thraben Charm, 1 of them is Flage. Not a bad draw. Oh, I miss Rage Forger. I used to have like we had a Vengevine Elemental / Shaman kind of overlap deck. That was so cool. I really liked that one, but it was always missing something, and it never quite got what it was missing. You know what I mean? All right, so next turn they can play a Seasoned Pyromancer, but they're not going to have a Flage anymore. We also get a Ragavan back, and they just concede without casting the Seasoned Pyromancer, which is a little aggressive, but we'll take it. Okay, so the general plan of this matchup is to cut the twins and cut the Ragavans for fire magics and steel cutters. Now, one thing I don't love about this is the Seas are still kind of that bad against them, but let's try it. Let's lock it in. Let's try it. Squeeze the 68 next month is going to be nice, dude. Hell yeah. Yes, it will be. Rydia is a shaman, huh? The thing about the shaman, there's a lot of good shamans. They just don't really synergize well together with the payoffs for being shamans. I spoke with the 64 months. Thank you. Welcome back. What happens since when are we winning round 1 of Modern Challenges? We did last time too, right? Thoughts on Cage for Flage? I think you could play a single Cage for Flage. You know, I think that's actually fine. We have the K commands, but yeah, I think the one Cage is fine too. Okay, a little bit of a weird hand, but we can go DRC into K commands, so it's hard to say mulligan. Yeah, maybe first Ragavan is better than fourth Seer on the draw. Also, like there's some stuff like that we gotta still figure out, but this seems like a fine direction. Goblin Bombardment. Well, usually K command gets better the longer you sit on it, and I think I want to keep up a heat for an Ajani. Still 5 matches going on in the challenge. So they've got a Flage, we've got a K command, though. Punished for holding up heat instead of command, I guess. Kind of minor. All right, I think I'm going to discard Fear of Missing Out and an Unholy Heat here. Steel Cutter no land is interesting. If we draw a land, we can go like Steel Cutter, Exile Flage maybe, or maybe Exile like a 1-drop in Flage. They've got the Ajani, so maybe we go like just next turn. Exile Flage, Heat Ajani. Okay, so dead. Land would be great. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do double exile, then heat the Ajani. I think I just leave this back to block the 2-1. Opponent forgot their bombardment sack. Main phase, sack the 2-1 to kill my 1-1. Then they probably haste Ragavan, or 2 things. One of them's a Ragavan. Spyro? Pretty gnarly. It's a lot to fight through this game. They discard a Purge. We're going to take 4. They're going to make a treasure token. They flip a mountain. Interesting. I was just thinking if I drew exactly this, I could go Steel Cutter into K command for 0. I think instead, I'm just going to go Spyro, discard 2 Spyros, but it just feels weird. We already drew the 4th. The 4th is already in the yard. Not exactly the Seasoned Pyromancer distribution you're usually hoping for, but obviously you are usually hoping to draw a bunch of these. So a little bit weird. It would be very cool to outgrind all this, though. They play up Marsh Flats. Yeah, Fire Magic could be good, but honestly, like this hand is pretty good too. The bombardment's hard to beat sometimes. Really depends on what they drew off the Spyro. They graveyard a Thraben Charm. I'm not seeing the vision on Cutter. Well, I guess I don't know what to tell you, but I'll say it again. The idea is that in this matchup and matchups like this, we really want to cut the Splinter Twins and the Ragavans. Tell me if there is a better card to board in as like a resistant to removal threat than Cori-Steel Cutter. I don't think there is. If you have a different vision, I would love to hear it. But this is my thought process, I suppose. Can't attack with the monk this turn. Okay, so they're gonna get to hit me with Ragavan. They also have the Seasoned Pyromancer for 2 more pings. So the good news is they can't hit Seasoned Pyromancer. All 4 of those are in the yard already. They hit an Unholy Heat, not a helpful card to them, thankfully. Think just the longer you save K command, the better usually. Every time you mention Steel Cutter hurts my standard playing hard. You can come play it here. You don't have to play standard. Okay, they forgot about Spyro. Great. You remember Gigantha also? Like, how annoying would Gigantha be here? Unbelievably annoying. Okay, great. Seeing the vision on the Steel Cutter a little bit more, maybe. Interesting. So I don't have any Spyros to draw into, so I think we go like this. Well, I guess that means I can just do this, because I have no double reds. I think I just take the Bauble, which is kind of sad, but it's what makes me most likely to double spell again next turn. See what they're drawing. All right, we're dead. Damn it. All right, go to Game Dream. Yeah, I think I'm done for 1 Ragavan, 1 Cage. Let's do that. Have you seen the post about the guy that got a game loss at a modern RCQ because the non-judge tournament organizer said Cutter was banned in modern via asking ChatGPT? I haven't seen that, but that does seem like about where we're at as a society, though. Is the Baumet's gift list the most up-to-date version of the archetype? I ended up feeling like I wanted the first Cityscape Leveler over the 4th Baumet, but it's pretty minor, right? Pretty up to date. Yeah, they had enough mana to play an escape there. Let's keep both of these so I could Steel Cutter. I think I want the second red. Have you seen the Jund Cascade deck that casts Living End and combos with Enduring Courage and Dragon Lord Kolagon? Enduring Courage. I have not seen that, no. I would take a look if you wanted to peep me. They have the One-Lander? It's nice of them. I was once at a RCQ and I Alpine Mooned like Urza's Tower, and the judge told my opponent and told me that my Alpine Moon didn't turn off Tron, and this Alpine Moon had been legal for like years at this point, and I did get it on the appeal, but it was so funny. Interesting. Y'all seeing the vision on the steel cutters, or what's going on? Whatever happened to Tron, man? Tron has actually been kind of back. People have been playing it some. It's like, it's kind of an interesting dynamic where Eldrazi kills Tron. Is that a flavor win because of Ugin stuff? I don't know, but I think I'm going to bank on drawing something to cast here for the 4 looks. Instead of making spawns, just cast a Spyro. Yeah, let me take a look, Tyler. It's just so good against these like Galvanic Discharge decks. It's just like, it's unbelievable. Ah, this is so hard to look at. Okay, so it gives your stuff haste, I see. Yeah, there have been a few like Overlord Living Index. They are hard to look at. Oh, did they mess up? Or are they trying to set up for a Wrath Disguise? Seems like they're trying to set up for Wrath Disguise. I think I'm still casting this FOMO and hoping they don't draw a white source. Round 2 of the challenge started. Let's just see if oh wait, hold on. This one has 2 damage on it. Why can't I see? I think it has 2 damage on it though, because there's only 1 energy in the pool. So I'm gonna not move over here, but let's just see if there's a Wrath Disguise, and then hopefully there's not, and we just get to cleanly pivot into round 2 of the challenge, or 1-0 in the challenge. We're playing for 2-0 in this league right here with Mono Red Eldrazi Twin. Dingo won the RCQ. Yeah, he texted me that he qualified. The modern RC in Houston is the week before my wedding, so I'm not going to be attending. And then we're trying to figure out how that's going. Smile at Death. At the beginning of your... Oh, interesting. At the beginning of your upkeep, return 2 creature cards, power 2 or less to be graveyard to the battlefield. Put a counter on each of those creatures. Seems pretty unnecessary, especially when you're considering that we have access to a Phoenix Down off of our Gearhulk. There's like also 5 mana clunky value cards. This is just not where we're at in this format. It ain't it. Sorry about that. It's just not where we're at. So they don't crack the Bauble. They like just definitely should have. They don't have a land in their hand. They're going to get Metalcraft when they attack with the Tamiyo. Although I guess they're going to now get to... I mean, they now get to attack and they get to cast this Thoughtcast. And okay, they choose not to do that. So their hand right now is Thoughtcast, 2 mystery cards. Hopefully draw a K Commander, a Bolt. Nice. Actually... Okay, it's obvious I have one, but I don't want my opponent to crack this Bauble, right? Or I do want them to crack it because of the Thoughtcast, so I guess they wouldn't if they feel like they really need it for the Thoughtcast. I guess it's not going to be that different. Have you brewed Mono Black K Command with Cecil? I haven't. Like, I do want to, because obviously it's an archetype that we've worked a lot on and we've had some good success with and all that. Sorry, I should have done that on my instep after they cracked, but too busy chatting. Nice. I haven't. I want to. You don't need to splash a color to. I think the mana is really weird because you want to play a lot of MDFCs to deal yourself damage for Cecil. You want to play a lot of MDFCs to deal yourself damage for Cecil, and you need to play a lot of colorless sources for K Command. So I don't know exactly what the balance is, and I haven't sat down to build it, but it is something I'd like to do. one thing about the like mono black K command strategy is you are very, very, very weak to Cori-Steel Cutter. That card is like just like unbelievably unbeatable. Now Steel Cutter isn't so prominent at the moment, so that's kind of okay. But that's kind of why with that shell I was playing the black white Ketramos build that had access to Prismatic Ending, and I was moving into that instead of K command for a bit. But I'm not saying that's where we still are, but that's where I was at last time I was messing with that archetype. Okay, I don't think I want either of these. Okay, so we can set up for the legendary Splinter Twin Spyro again, maybe. Although I probably should have attacked with Ragavan first. Could just a bunch of black Painlands be good for Seasoned K command? Maybe that might be the better solution. We get to take the Catholic Cannoneer. Wait, we could run into a second Pithing Needle on Thought-Knot Seer this this stream. We're 1-1 in the challenge. We beat Boros, we lost to Gorios. Let me see what they're drawing. If they're drawing a Cannoneer, I guess I keep up the... Oh, I don't have Delirium. You're drawing a Bauble. Does leave me without an answer for the Imri. Okay, there's our FOMO. So if we draw one of our 2 Arena of Glories, we can combo kill next turn. So Illness in the ranks, we could maybe play that. The problem is they still have a trample haste prowess creature. They have 1 instead of a bunch. But I don't know, maybe that's just, where you're at. So play a Tamio, they play an Imri. So we guess we need to kill Imri more than we need to kill the Tamio on account of the whole portable hole situation for the FOMO. Unless I draw Arena of Glory, 2 in 42 chance. I'm feeling like Jeff Boski on the poker vlog right now. I guess it's 4 in 42 because we get the draw off the FOMO, huh? Oh, you're right. They will just crypt me. I think I just twinned the Spyro then. Fun. A Skimmer Molt Tinder deck with 9-0 in the Legacy Showcase. Nice. Yeah, I never really felt like Molt Tinder was quite the way to go for Modern. Maybe it does make more sense than Legacy. Wait, they cracked the bubbles on their turn? I guess they... That's weird. I feel like they would want the easier Tamio flip. I feel Engineered Explosives right now. I feel like it's well positioned. Sees no play. One of the decks I have prepped has Engineered Explosives in it. It's definitely a playable card. They legend roll Tamio. Yeah, I think they messed up. It's a little weird because I kind of would want to like use this to rebuild Delirium post Crypt, but okay, let's keep that. All right. Splinter Twin feeling genuinely good in this deck, by the way. So I don't think I want 4 Charmaws against them like I wanted against Mr. Sari's build. The Ragavans are also better against this build, too. I think I'm going to bring in 2. I'm going to trim 1 monkey, 1 heat maybe 1 seer on the draw. Is the first bombardment good here? Spawn tokens, elementals, good type? Possibly. I think we keep this on the draw. Is it me or has Eldrazi completely fallen out? It hasn't completely fallen out. We played against it like a lot more last week than we had the week or two before. But you're not wrong that it is pretty poorly positioned. It's like awful against Neoform. It's like I think that the builds are just not that good against Boros. Eldrazi certainly is just not a great deck at the moment. So they play a tapped Elephant. Let me check in on the challenge real quick. There's 11 matches still going. They do have a portable home. So, okay, we had 22 lands to draw when we kept this 7. There's one of them. All right. Yeah, the Eldrazi Tron decks are pretty different, but I think they're good. It's like I think I started this thought earlier today and I didn't finish it, but it's like the Tron builds. I'm getting whip flared. Okay. The Tron builds are like kind of allowed to exist because the regular Eldrazi decks with all their Sowing Mycospawns and World Breakers don't. Which is kind of an interesting dynamic. So unfortunately make a 3/3 that I can't Unholy Heat. Shout out Lightning Bolt. There's a Mox Opal. They got 3 cards in their hand. They play an Emery, which I can Unholy Heat. Unshout out Lightning Bolt. Looking for a land for a Spyro, I guess. There we go. Going to be discarding both of these, but we will have Delirium. Start pressuring our opponent a little bit. Got some more twins in the deck. It's a good thing that it feels bad to discard Splinter Twin here. You really want that to be the case. Bloodmoon got worse because of the Saga. Yeah, I guess a lot of W's for Tron lately. I definitely miss when Tron was like the de facto big mana deck because like the hate cards are just so much better against it. Why not get waste there? I guess I should have gotten wastes. We didn't get punished because of your Cavern, but we should have gotten it there. So they have another Whip Flare to clean up the Spyro, which is maybe good for me because this means I get to attack with my Ragavan. Okay, that's not a bad draw either. Let's name Shaman again. No, actually, so let's name Pirate. Yeah, they just could have a counterspell here, so. Had a first round go. We won round 1 of the challenge against Boros. We lost round 2 to Grixis Gorios. The Grixis build seemed meaningfully better against me than Esper, which I thought was pretty interesting. Ooh, okay, I'll take a Tamio. They might rebuke this, but that's okay because they would get to heat the construct. I'm going to heat the construct on their upkeep, I think. Yeah, usually name Shaman. We have human Shamans in the deck. This is mostly just like I wanted like one colorless utility land, and I felt like Cavern and your Thought-Knot Seer FOMO deck was maybe the best one. I don't think this is maybe good if they have Kappa Cannoneer, but like it has to still be stranded in their hand after this, which isn't like all that likely anyways. All right, so we're 3-0 in our league here. Yeah, FOMO Twin is the combo. Let's get a trophy prediction. I've had this deck in my drafts for a very long time, like since Twin was unbanned, basically, and I just never got around to testing it till this weekend. And I don't know, it's just one of those, like I looked at it, I'm like, this actually makes a lot of sense. The Steel Cutter is helping like the Boros sideboard plan, which already like worked today. It was a pretty big deal. All right, let's keep this. Okay, we're up against another Eldrazi deck here. Very different matchup. GG Natty. They exile 2 Eldrazi Temples and It That Heralds the End. So thankfully it's the Eldrazi aggro version. Far and away the worst deck that has Eldrazi Temple in it. Oh, I just noticed we have Arena of Glory with Ramunap Ruins. A bit awkward. So 3 temples in the top of their deck. 2 of them are in exile, though. Added 3 Seers and 13 mana over 15 mana Emerald. Okay. Seems fine. This build is also like way weaker to Charmaw. We got 4 of those at the sideboard. Yeah, I do think it was the chatter who said Eldrazi's dead is just going to sub into summoning all the Eldrazi opponents. They angered the Discord. I think there's going to be a lot to brew with Edge of Eternity. I certainly hope so. Like, Final Fantasy had a lot of fun cards that were kind of just fringe playable in Modern. And then, like, Dragonstorm before that was, like, the most impactful to Standard set in a really long time. So it's, I think, you know, having a little bit of a break with Final Fantasy has been kind of nice. Probably want to get the extra surveil instead of upkeep surveilling here. Obviously, we need Delirium pretty bad. Use one of my 2 heats. Now we do have some double type cards like K Command and Fear of Missing Out to maybe get Delirium now. All right, that works. Oh no, it doesn't work. Sorry, this is one of the 2 types of Unholy Heat. Oh, you have 2 Emeralds at the main. Interesting. Down to 2 Surges. So they played the Bajuka Bog, so thankfully we're not getting Bajuka Bogged. Probably. So here's Delirium. Do I get the Wastes? If they have Sire of the 7 Deaths, we could trade a DRC and then double do this. Be very painful. They would need an untapped land for that also. So they're going to cycle a K command, maybe digging for that untapped land in order to sire me. Sounds a little dirty. I could also bolt them. I could bolt them down to 9. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to be a little bit short of like killing my own DRC to beat a sire. No, you can't. It has first strike. Okay, I don't think you're understanding my line, but I can just target both of these, take 14, and kill it. Wait, they don't imprint the Devourer? So they're going to cast Devourer, probably? Okay, no, they do cast Sire. But yeah, I can heat my own. I can heat whatever it blocks, and then they take the other damage. But now it seems like my plan is to trade here. Is there any card I could draw that would really change my plan? I don't think so. But we're just gonna take 15 to kill this, and then we attack for 6 in the air. I think I'm looking mostly for a bolt, although I think I only have 1 left in the deck, right? None of those cards are very helpful. So the thing is, they can probably devour a Channeler this turn, but if that's all they have, we can go hit them for 3 down to 3, then K command to buy a turn against the Devourer. guess I main phase. So I could draw a mountain and cast the Ragavan also. Can't tap that. All right, the little Dragon Rages channeler that either could or couldn't. Find out right now. All right, couldn't, I guess, is the answer. Tough one. Yeah. So I want to keep in my twin plan for sure, Z's. The thing is, their build is like usually you want to cut a bunch of the burn spells, but their build is way weaker to burn spells than usual. I think we want to cut a Spyro. Maybe the 4th heat, just do 3/2. Ragavan's good. Seer on the play should be pretty good. We could probably trim 1. I don't want to trim a Bauble since Delirium is really important to get. So maybe we'll just cut another Seasoned Pyromancer. And then on the draw, we maybe bring 1 in and cut a Ragavan. Maybe not. Yeah, probably not. Ragavan's just good against them. Okay, let me read this card. This is the new spoiled card. This spell costs 2 less if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or if a spell was warped this turn. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards the card. So the warped spell is what? I guess we don't know yet. So this is a Thoughtseize with the turn 1 Mishra's Bauble. First official weren't there official spoilers? Maybe not. I feel like there should have been at the last Magic Con, but maybe there weren't. Warp is only in leagues? Well. Oops. Whatever. It's very high quality. No, this is from the Reddit. Oh, a Warp is from leaks, not this card I see. What's the idea of Seer in this deck? It's a pretty good card that gives you some interaction against combo decks that you're really hurting for in your mono red deck, and you can put a Splinter Twin on it and draw step Thought-Knot Seer them. So no turn 1 Chalice. It's obviously a pretty good draw. Dismember? Better than Dismember. Alright, I need another red source. I think I'm going to discard the K command here because I'm getting that extra red source. Alright, so if they play a colorless land next turn, which they probably will, we'll get to Charmaw. Yeah, there's just not a lot that goes with this besides Bauble. At least, like, super cleanly goes with it. Alright, so not so bad for us. We could hit for 4 down to 15. There's a pretty good chance I trade Charmaw for Linebreaker because that gives me Delirium. The pitch elementals go void in line. Yeah, the good ones are already gone. Technically sacking a Striker Rich to treasure. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna like make a treasure token and then do this though. Do you ever consider Eldrazi Obligator? If it isn't playable here, it will never be playable. Yeah, it will never be playable. That card isn't good. There's just like what card is that? I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that card will never be good because the only way it would be good is if it was good against something specific, right? There would have to be something in the metagame that an Eldrazi Obligator lines up well against, right? But like what would that be? It's certainly not something that exists right now, I think. It's not the worst, but it's not a Charmaw or a FOMO or a K command, so or a Spyro. We just have too many good top decks. Yeah, Splinter Twin off the top here would have been so nice. Okay, not too bad. So their hand is Linebreaker, 3 mystery cards. Okay, go to game 3. Seems like none of those mystery cards were a land. Have I tried any Lightning FOMO decks? I don't think so. The thing about Lightning is I just misunderstood the card, and like I thought the card was mostly interesting because you could Arena of Glory it, and then you could smack your opponent with it, and then am I gonna mulligan a double Charmaw hand? Probably have to. You could smack your opponent with it, and then the next turn you could like play a bunch of burn spells. I thought that was really cool, but that's just not how the card works, and that it has made it a lot less interesting. Like, I think there's a small chance that it's still, like, a fine option for Boros synergy, and that's certainly not the most interesting either. Alright, I think I discard the FOMO. Probably not hasting that next turn, but certainly glad to have drawn it. I really want to Splinter Twin a Charmaw, but that's probably not happening today. Maybe it is. Might actually. It got a lot more likely once this died, and now we have 2 in the yard. So see if they have their own Seer here. They have a Trinisphere. Okay, that's actually not very good against me. I do have like Mishra's Bauble and stuff, but I'm okay. I've got a lot of expensive spells too. So they have 5 cards in their hand. There's their 3rd mana. They do have a good amount of 3-drops in the deck, I guess. I guess I probably want to just thin with the Vista this turn, and I can cast the K command next turn. I don't think I wanted to haste the Seer, although that might have been... I guess it was just lethal. Yeah, sorry, it was better. I was just thinking I wouldn't be able to get a 3-drop with this next turn. We're probably still in good shape, but yeah, I think Hasty Seer was actually the move there. Wait, did they miss their land drop or no? No, they didn't. I just Charmawed them. Yeah, Twin would have been so incredible off the top here. Although it would have been kind of scary against, Second Dismember. Not that likely they have Second Dismember, I guess. Okay, so they're really far away from that Devourer with no double lands. I guess now they could draw a Temple, but they did draw a castable spell. Is it the bounce a thing, Eldrazi? It's a Chrysalis. Chrysalis is incredibly good here because it just blocks my Charmaw and it lets them cast the Devour next turn. That's so gross. Like, that was just definitely the best top deck possible, right? I'm thinking how important is it to exile this versus K command. They're gonna cast a Devourer, they're gonna exile this, then they're gonna have a 5/6. So I do have a lot of Unholy Heats in my deck, and also if I make spawns with this turn, then I get to like chump these a few times. One match still in progress in the challenge. Don't think this game is going to go that much longer. Can you believe they printed Chrysalis at common? I can't even believe Eldrazi were in MH3 still. It's like. I think just like on a big macro decision, like that being the main like the biggest like supported thing in the set was like just an awful choice. If they wanted to keep Chrysalis, they could still cast Devourer if we attack. Well, the thing is we can't attack into the 4/5 here. It just doesn't make any sense, right? I think I want to do this now to maybe incentivize them to not attack. Okay, another K command's interesting. Did we know they had a land in hand? If not, an attack there was good. Why is an attack there good? Just because we're making them kill the spawns? To, maybe okay, maybe that was better. What's wrong with Eldrazi? It's what's good about Eldrazi, I guess. Like, this is the second time in Modern's history that Eldrazi has been like a big player in the format, and I think both times it's been pretty clear that the gameplay implications are pretty negative. Like all of the good Eldrazi cards are like incredibly poor gameplay. I think. Like, look, I'm splashing K command. You know, it's like, well, what were they thinking? Keeping this bolt is kind of tempting. I think I'm gonna keep not the bolt. I think I'm going to keep both heats, though. Yeah, maybe y'all are right about the attack being good, I think. Arid's Charmaw anyways. Well, then, like, it's also like you kind of want to make them use that, though, so they're not just sitting with the removal spell for later, maybe. Yeah, I think y'all are right about the attack being fine, though. They do have a spell in their hand. Oh, another Chrysalis would be a disaster. Linebreaker's totally fine. I think. We're not dead, right? This is 10. We go down to 4, then we can kill both of these. We probably want to use both Unholy Heats. This way maybe Bolt plus Ramunap Ruins kills them. Although not really through the Trinisphere very well. Seems that they're scared of... That's valid. Alright, so we go Heat. Attack for 4. I think because there are so many Eldrazi decks available, it's hard to be a hater of it in Modern. It's very easy to be a hater of it in Modern for me, but... it's okay. It's okay if you like it, obviously. That's always the case. That's the nice thing about Magic is everybody enjoys different things, but... I think every viable Eldrazi card, Emrakul, K-Command, Sowing Mycospawn, like Ugin's Labyrinth, all make the game actively worse. This card sucks though, so I'm glad people put it in their deck sometimes. So I think we heat the Linebreaker so that they have to chump or Bolt plus Heat gets them. Not 100% sure about that. They target the Arena of Glory instead of the Ruins, which is nice. Okay, they bog me. I also could, if I draw a land, maybe bolt them and then dash Ragavan, then they're at 2 and I have Ruins. Okay, yeah, let's plan on that. So there's not a lot they can draw, right? Trinisphere. I know about Trinisphere. The Bolt ramming up thing is really easy to do over the course of 2 turns on this board. Black Ops to 20 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I feel like I was on the cutting edge of Eldrazi Winter. I loved it. That's cool. I mean, that is one of the beautiful things about Magic is somebody likes everything. All right, looks like round 4 is about to start. Just as we advance to 4-0 in our mono red K command twin. Okay, we might die. I don't know. I don't want to say that too soon. Okay, we win. So we're 4-0 in this league. You know we got to kill them with Ramunap Ruins. We're 4-0 in this league. We're 2-1 in the challenge. Good twin of Thought-Knot Seer. I think if Eldrazi was like, if this was the Eldrazi deck, if this was how it was, the one everyone played, the Linebreaker build, like I think the gameplay against this deck is pretty good. I think you should have sacked the Galta instead of the Xenagos, probably. All All right, do you play the Temple turn 1 to try to turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer, or do you hold up the bolts? Gemstone Caverns, pitching Devourer of Destiny. Okay, we'll play the Temple against that. Kind of nice our opponent to answer the question for us. They get rid of a K command, a Null Drifter, and there's also a Thundering Falls in exile here. They might have been looking for the Temple. Sometimes if they do so much Eldrazi today. Sometimes if there's no K command, you just kind of know that they have or that there's K command in exile. You know they have a K command in hand, but I don't think we're quite there. Well, that would have been awesome last turn. Okay. I guess we have to take one of these two. Let's take the Through the Breach. Zero on top, 3 on the bottom. So we're going to need to Seer again, and they're going to K command in response, probably. Yeah, they might be able to hardcast this Emrakul. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they're just actually going to be able to hardcast next turn. I'm going to name Eldrazi. We could untap to be able to take a painless damage off the bolt, but too lazy. The Arid deck has been so good. I'm glad we decided to play in the challenge today. I have a lot of I have a lot of stuff prepped for this week, and I was kind of torn besides just playing leagues this week and playing the Monday challenge, and I'm glad we chose Monday challenge. Hardcasting Eldrazi post K command feels so unimpressive. Well, we were talking about them. They could cast Emrakul the Aeon's Torn this next turn, which I think would be pretty impressive. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think we take the Preordain, and we maybe set up for... We maybe are going to get to set up for Splinter Twin on Thought-Knot Seer. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe it's just better to bolt to spawn instead. The thing is, if I play this FOMO, they're just gonna they're gonna get to devour it. But let's do this. And then this might bait the Labyrinth to devour the Splinter Twin. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we'll take the Snare because we've got the FOMO. So yeah, I think that we're trying to get them to Labyrinth devour the Twin so we can set up to FOMO Twin, which is very funny. They are going to get to draw a card off this Seer. Okay, that's not a bad draw. We want to discard the Mountain. If I draw another FOMO, we'll just discard it when we copy with Twins. We don't mind that so much. Waffle with the gifted sub. Dang. And they don't shuffle it away. So they've got some pretty good... Or I'm dead if I don't do any blocking next turn. Copies of Thought-Knot Seer aren't the best blocker either. Interesting. What our matchups been for the challenge? We beat Boros in round 1. We lost to Grixis Gorios in round 2. We beat Harrogast Eldrazi Ramp in round 3, and then we just beat Neoform. We played that one perfect, I think. Alright, so I guess we're going to go back to the whole Splinter Twin Thought-Knot Seer plan. Now that we've got the Channeler for some pressure. Uh-oh. No, you don't have the 4th K command. Oh, they have Through the Breach. No! Okay. I guess we should have upkeeped. We did end up winning the challenge game, too. It was not the cleanest game ever. Came out on the right side. Don't think I want to keep in Heats for Devourer of Destiny. Let's just bring in the Charmaws. Even some Bolts for some life total removal. Oh no, I thought we had plenty of time. Wait, how did that round finish so fast? I thought we had plenty of time. This league is for a trophy, so we're not going to abandon it. But round 5 of the challenge is about to start. You could just hold it during response to a breach. Depends when you play around, yeah. You just have so many sorcery speed cards, like Stock Up Devourer. Vexing didn't counter Through the Breach. No, Through the Breach doesn't cast the Eldrazi, so Vexing Bauble only stops cast for 0 mana. But also, if it did, Emrakul can't be countered anyways. Towards the bottom of the 3/1s, we did lose in round 2. Hope we can dodge House of Mana. Alright, let's go. I think we keep this. Okay, we did dodge House. We're going to get someone named Eric. We're on the draw on the challenge here. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the other monitor as we wait for our opponent to show up. We'll put back the Cavern. Okay, my opponent showed up in the challenge. I'm mulliganing my 7. I think I'm going to 5. It's actually kind of close. Gross. No, this is a keep. Looking at it closer. A weird keep, but a keep nonetheless. My opponent in the challenge is mulling to 5. They're on the play. I'm on the draw. No action yet. All right, here's the action. They've led on an Elegant Parlor. Ah, damn it. And we're up against Storm, it seems. They are our Through the Breach opponent has cast Stock Up, so we might lose to that. Our Storm opponents missed their second land drop. So not very likely they untap and kill me. Got Agatha's Soul Cauldron for the tiniest bit of interaction you've ever seen. They just surveilled a K return to the graveyard here. That's gross. Ritual. Ruby. Ritual. Rin's Resolve. 1 card in their hand at the moment. They hit a Ral and a Mire. Alright, what is that last card? Rin's Resolve, but with no mana floating. Over here, I'm FOMOing and untapping the Ragavan. I had to K command to exile the K return that they surveilled into the graveyard. Can't quite cast out Emrakul. Or nor the Devourer. Your turn. So the Rin's Resolve does Rin's Resolve. They hit a Glimpse and another Resolve. And I have Aerith Land Ballisted by hand, so we win over here. It was very scary. I thought we were going to just die this turn, but thankfully they didn't have enough resources, and we have everything. Oh my gosh, I dealt damage to herself. So she has 1 damage on her, should be fine. Ugh. If I had dealt 1 more, she'd die. Obviously, it's just a weird misclick. Save targets. Well, the thing is I've auto-yielded, so it doesn't give me a window to save targets. But I just believe in my ability to not misclick, which is maybe dumb. Okay, so we're going to bring in the Deafening Silences. We're going to bring in the Cages, I think. I think I do like to... I usually like the combo of like Needle on Rao plus Grafdigger's Cage. I don't know if I'm going to bring in the Lantern. I'm going to cut the Phoenix down. I'm going to keep in the Heliod. I think I'm going to go down on these again. Let's do 2-2 this time. We also have 4 Ranger Captains, so we should be pretty good against Storm. What's the point of Cage against Storm? It stops Passing Flames. Okay, so over in the League match where we're playing for a trophy, we're not doing great. On the draw against Storm, I do have a Ranger Captain, but I only have 1 land, so I'm going to mulligan. My next hand's also a 1-lander. It's a bit better. I'm going to go to 5. It looks like we are getting through the breach over here, unfortunately. No trophy. We could play it out, but I don't think our hand is very likely to win, and good to focus on the challenge. Sorry, believers. Almost got there with Splinter Twin. Any consideration for Harkus Tutorable? You almost never want to tutor a mana dork with your 3 mana or 4 mana tutor cards.